Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 10th. I'm Elisa DiStefano. Long Island Congressman George Santos is facing federal charges today. The Republican has been under the microscope for fabricating tales about his personal and professional history. The charges have not been made public yet. However, they are likely related to his finances. So here's what we know right now. A source telling Newsday he could appear in federal court as early as today. The FBI and Department of Justice have been investigating his campaign filings and private business dealings. And reaction is pouring in. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy saying Santos is innocent until proven guilty, but
as you know, with George Santos, I did not put him on any committees. If a person is indicted, they're not on committees. They have the right to vote, but they have to go to trial. If, just like we had a member of Fortenberry, he had the same ability. I removed him from committees, but he was found guilty, and I told him he needed to resign. That is my policies and principles on this, and I'd follow the same pattern.
Vocal Santos critic and potential congressional challenger, Nassau legislator Josh Lafazan, is calling for his immediate expulsion from the House, saying, quote, "There is now no further excuse to keep Santos in the House. This federal indictment confirms what we have known all along, that Santos broke the public trust and violated federal law in the process." Stay with Newsday for the latest breaking developments in the Santos case. We have reporters at court in Central Islip and experts standing by to give you the local analysis that matters to you here on Newsday TV, on our app, and on Newsday.com. Former President Trump says he will appeal the verdict that he sexually abused E. Jean Carroll.
We'll be appealing this decision. It's a disgrace. I don't even know who this woman is. I have no idea who she is, where she came from. This is another scam. It's a political witch hunt.
Manhattan federal jury found him liable yesterday of sexually abusing the columnist in a luxury department store dressing room in the spring of 1996. The jury was not convinced that Trump raped her, as she claimed, but she was awarded about $5 million for sexual battery and defamation. Nearly $700,000. That's the pay package for one of PSEG Long Island's top executives. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday. Compensation for 7 of the utility's top managers ranged from $442,000 up to nearly $700,000. Those numbers include bonuses, one of which was more than $160,000. That's more than the executives at LIPA make. And LIPA owns Long Island's power grid.
LIPA could argue that these people are getting, pretty high salary levels and bonuses in some cases, and not. LIPA hasn't been completely happy with the way that they've performed in terms of customer satisfaction, the call centers.
Now, this comes as a state commission is considering a plan to make LIPA a fully public entity and remove PSEG from the equation. Newsday reporter Mark Harrington says critics could argue the money could be better used elsewhere.
Why are we paying so much to executives and such a high management fee when we could essentially put that money back into rates or put it into programs or other things for customers on Long Island?
Now, if you want to read more about PSEG Long Island's paychecks and bonuses, click the Get More banner below the Newsday TV video box. It is sentencing day for the Bayshore man who strangled a Dix Hills woman. Darren Mansfield is expected to be sentenced to 30 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to the strangulation murder of 22-year-old Frania Espinal. He did it in 2021 while out on bail after nearly strangling another woman to death. 2 more Long Island schools are weighing mascot bans today. It is the latest on the story you saw first in Newsday. There are school board meetings tonight in Amityville and Wyandanch. Both are nicknamed Warriors. As we have reported, the state ordered public schools to remove Native American mascots and imagery. Syosset voted Monday to retire their Braves mascot. 13 Long Island districts are subject to name changes by the end of the 2024-25 school year. Now to sports. The Knicks are on the brink of playoff elimination. Game 5 against the Heat is tonight at the Garden. New York trails Miami in the best-of-7 series, 3-1. Come on, let's go Knicks. Country superstar Morgan Wallen has delayed his tour, including some shows in our area.
I got some bad news from my doctors at the Vanderbilt Voice Center yesterday, and they told me that I re-injured my vocal cords and that I have vocal fold trauma. Their advice is that I go on vocal rest for 6 weeks. So that's what I'm going to do.
Oh man, disappointment all around. Wallen breaking the news on social media that he's dealing with a vocal cord injury. His one night at a time world tour was set to stop at MetLife Stadium May 19th and 20th. Hey, do you have your summer concert tickets yet? How does $25 a show sound? Today kicks off Live Nation's annual concert week and a chance to get that $25 all-in deal for summer shows at Jones Beach and venues across the country. Coming up, stargazing students on the East End.
It gives all the students a real experience of what it's like to look at the planets or look at the moon, look at the stars from a different perspective.
The historic observatory that just reopened at a Long Island high school. Plus,
I wanted to create a safe space where everybody could feel welcome, no matter if you're straight, gay, male, female, non-binary, whatever. Come here, we shut the door on the outside world, and we just laugh. You know what I mean?
we could all use a laugh. Chatting with Ross Mathews ahead of his Paramount show tomorrow night. But first, your hyper-local weather. Expect sunny skies today, highs around 67 degrees. Tonight it'll be clear in the 50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs around 80 degrees. Wow, it's going to be a great one. A look at your 7-day forecast is coming up. From sunny days to starry nights, some East End students are stargazing again, and that's because a historic observatory has just reopened. NewsdayTV's Cecilia Dowd has that story in Riverhead.
A piece of Riverhead history resurrected. This observatory at Riverhead High School hadn't been used in years, but now after some sprucing up, students can once again aim for the stars.
It gives all the students a real experience of what it's like to look at the planets or look at the moon, look at the stars from a different perspective that we don't get to experience on a day-to-day basis.
The telescope, built in the 1930s, is a point of local pride. A man named John Elliott Young donated it to the high school in 1980. He died a few years later.
I'm trying to imagine Mr. Young here today, and you know something, he would look the same. He'd have his engineer's hat on, he'd have his work clothes on, and he'd be chewing on a toothpick.
In recent years, the high school observatory needed repairs.
The observatory, so it would not open. It would not spin around. So you couldn't even open it up and get the telescope out.
Thanks to the school district, town, and a local contractor who donated his services, the sky is once again the limit.
When do you get to take something from a book and then actually put it into practice and look at the night sky and see the rings of Saturn or the great red spot on Jupiter?
There's a 360-degree view of the sky. Now you can change what you see simply by cranking this.
It's a very humbling experience when you look at the night sky and see the 6,000 stars in our sky and realize they're galaxies and they're planets and meteors and asteroids.
It's a good experience. I feel like everyone should come at least once.
Cecilia Dowd for NewsdayTV.
Wow, I hope they're learning a lot and making a lot of good wishes. For more on the historic observatory, go to our homepage, click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box. Ross Mathews is about to take the stage at the Paramount. I spoke with him ahead of the kickoff to his I Gotcha Girl tour in a story you'll see only in Newsday. Hello, Ross, or should I say headliner here at the Paramount?
I know, can you believe it?
Host of the Hello, Ross podcast.
I'm exhausted, Teresa.
And co-host of the Drew Barrymore Show, Ross Mathews is known for bringing light and laughter to audiences.
And hello, we want as well.
Now he's bringing his brand new live show to Long Island.
The show's called I Got You Girl. I Got You Girl. Because it really is about that special relationship between a gay guy and a straight girl best friend. You know, there's nothing like it. We will hold your hair when you're throwing up, and I will French braid it while I'm back there. And this is a celebration of that. I do stand up. I'm up there doing jokes. I go out into the audience where nothing's off limits, especially after a few cocktails. Like, you can ask me anything. And then we're gonna play games with the audience, give away prizes. Maybe there'll be a surprise guest or two. You know, it's more of just a stand-up show. It's really an experience.
And how exciting to have your debut here at, now we could call it your hometown venue.
I know, you know, I moved here like about a year ago. My husband and I bought a house out here, and it's like my favorite place in the universe. I said, we're never leaving Long Island. And when they asked me, you know, where do you want to kick off this tour? I said, can we please do it down the street from the house? I want to do it here with my new friends, right? People like you, the people I get to meet on the streets here. All the material I'm doing, I'm for the first time here at the Paramount. But I mean, I'll talk about pop culture. I will be talking about what it's like moving to Long Island from the West Coast.
What's it like moving to Long Island from the West Coast?
I love it, for starters, but everyone's really loud. You know what I mean? Like, you go through a Home Goods and everyone's on their, like, a speakerphone. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my allergies. Oh, I had a Claritin D. Yeah, no, Claritin D. I was like, why is everyone so loud? And then I realized, because I'm loud and I'm gonna fit in just fine here on Long Island.
So if you're looking for laughs and a fun night out, Ross has got you, girls.
I Got You Girl's the name of the show because I got you, girl. You know what I mean? Like, come, let Uncle Ross take care of you for an hour and a half. I promise life's gonna be better when you leave.
Us? Loud? I'm so happy to have him on Long Island. We've become good buddies. Ross's show is tomorrow in Huntington. For more on him and his 3 favorite Long Island places, go to our homepage and click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Hope to see you there.
Get more of the stories you've seen on Newsday TV at Newsday.com. Plus breaking news, investigations, things to do, restaurants, and other Long Island news you can't get anywhere else. At Newsday.com, covering Long Island like no one else can.
We hope you have a great Wednesday. I'm Lisa DiStefano. Thanks so much for watching. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.